Is it a pony, a shilling? What do you call it over here?
Considering
Roll the dice.
the size of the buy-in here, you're flipping about 3 bricks of bills.
Well, whatever it is. One side goes to Keston, the other side to Nelson.
Oh, wow.
No longer
MasterCard.
Lee Nelson now with trip fives on the flop.
Diamond. Any diamond.
Keston has not had much luck in these TV tournaments, and I'm starting
No,
to
not
feel
that
like
one.
he's a bit cursed here. He's basically drawing dead right now to running spades, Kenna?
That's what it
9 of diamonds.
absolutely is. It's a king, and that's not going to help him because another king would give Nelson a full house, so this one is over.
Robin will have a few chips back, but it won't be enough to
Yeah, we had
buy
about 108,
lunch
I
for
think.
more than one
Yeah,
person.
No, this was the definitive hand for Keston right here. He decided to
What can I do?
make
You
his
pass
stand.
No.
Was it over-aggressive by Lee Nelson?
46,000.
Well, it was, but the fact that he lost those hands early on, Lee said he wanted to draw the line in the sand, as you have said, so to speak, and make his stand right there. He made it with the 2 5s. He was a slight favorite before the flop. Significant favorite on the flop.
I tell you, that's guts. I mean, 16 hours on a plane from New Zealand and not scared to to play 5 hands and go right home.
To make a good poker player, I think you have to have a combination of skills. It's one of the few sports, and I consider poker a sport, that marries psychology and math together. So you have to know the math, but you also have to be able to read people. My background is in medicine, so I'm used to diagnosing people, so I think one of my big strengths is I'm able to read players quite well. And you have to have a lot of courage, a lot of heart, because sometimes you just got to push all your chips in the middle, knowing that your tournament life is literally on the line. And if you make a mistake, one mistake, it's a long way back to New Zealand.
Lee Nelson's wasting no time in getting stuck in. Last year's champion, he's brought the trophy back with him from New Zealand, but he's got no intention of leaving it here. Let's see what Jesse and Kenna make of that one.
First level and the all-in before the flop matchup, pocket pair versus the overcards. We haven't seen so many of those of late.
No, we haven't, but, you know, I think the factor there was Lee Nelson had lost a couple pots, you know, a few chips, and he was determined not to be bullied around, and he decided to make a stand with the small pair, and it worked out.
Perhaps he also feels lucky in this tournament, but Keston actually still has about 30,000. Does he have any shot?
Certainly has a shot if he can maintain to be in this game mentally. He's still in it chip-wise, but after you lose a major pot like that, the true test is, you know, is your mental game affected, and we will see.
Final table lead, picking up where he left off, and Keston, unfortunately, more of the same from him as well.
No one to play with? There's always partypoker.com.
Welcome back to the partypoker.com World Open. Reigning champion Lee Final Table Nelson is certainly making his move to retain the crown. He's our early chip leader. Back to the action.
3. No, not really. No. I can save it for later.
Pass.
Only 3,000 in the
Pass.
pot before the cards come out. It's not really enough to get your hair raised.
Nope, but that will change soon. We're nearing the end of the first round. The blinds will soon be going up to 2 and 4.
8,000 total.
So this is the last couple of hands where it will be cheap to get in. Eddie Scharf decides to take that option and come in with the Queen 9.
Is Eddie Scharf just kind of saying, remember me? He hasn't played a hand in about 10 of them or so. And what is Rudling up to?
I didn't get a look at Rudling's cards.
King 6 of hearts he's got,
King
Kenna.
6 of hearts.
Call.
Well, a long call. You can see he's even questioning himself on that call. It's like his mind said one thing and his hands and body did another, putting the chips in the pot. And believe it or not, that's sometimes what happens.
Yeah, I just wonder. I mean, it was almost like Rudling's first instinct was, Scharf has added, I should re-raise, and then he talked himself out of it. The re-raise would have worked here
right,
for
and
sure.
then he decided, you know, I don't have a hand, I'm going to fold, but his body said, nope, call, and that's what happened. His
it's like trying to stop short. And,
his body at enmity with his thought process there, but he does flop an open-ended straight.
yeah.
With 6 gives him 6, 7, 8, 9, needing a 5 or a 10 for the straight. But Eddie Scharf with top pair elects to check, surprisingly enough.
Scharf's
10,000.
I wonder if we're going to see a check raise here.
Very possible, but with a dangerous board, Eddie Scharf may choose, or rather elect, to play this cautiously. It would be a mistake. It would be much better if he put heat on this pot.
Raised 16,000 more, 26 total.
How strong is that? Raising before the flop, check raising on the flop.
It's very strong, and he wants to determine where he's at in this hand right here, right now. Now Rudling, who has seemed to be puzzled from the start of this hand, now finds himself in the pickle.
Yeah, he's looking very wrinkled brow-wise.
Well, because now he has outs. Definitely, he most certainly is probably drawing live, and he certainly is. A 5 or a 10 would lock him up the win. It would give him the straight. But does he want to pay an additional $10,000 to try and make it? That is the question at hand for Robin Keston. Or, I'm sorry.
David Rudling.
Yeah. David Rudling.
I just wonder if that bottom end of the straight draw, Kenna, might be influencing him here. I mean, if a 10 did come, you know, any jack would beat him. I'll tell you this, he could very quickly be in trouble here. I mean, the only card that really makes him happy is a 5, isn't it?
That is correct, Jesse May. But I'm sure he'll take a 10. But he's going to play this draw extremely strong.
You know, he's, oh my gosh, he has gotten his chips in first. And it was so interesting. He's taken so long, Kenna, that it's almost like it was a false tell.
Could be. Eddie Scharf going to give it some thought and ponder that possibility. He's got top pair. It's usually a very strong hand when you're against one opponent. However, when there is a straight possible out there, again, somebody calling your raise pre-flop, which could signal an overpair, it will give you a headache.
Yeah, I mean, if the money does go in, Kenna, there's not much in it, is there? Rudling's got 11 outs twice, which is not that far away from, well, 46-4 or something like that. That's what it is, we can see.
Tough decision here for Eddie Scharf, who looks like he may need some Tylenol before this hand is through.
Yeah, Scharf could call, be happy he's winning and still lose.
Correct.
Wow. And Rudling says good pass.
It is a good pass,
good pass
for him.
Rudling. Did Rudling just outplay Eddie there? And how should Eddie have played it?
Should have mucked before the flop, I think.
I call Robin Bingo because he used to own a bingo hall. And I think he considers himself retired now. Ooh, what do you think about this? Ace-6 under the gun all in.
Well, he may be a bit frustrated not getting any action with the 2 kings and decides to open up the game a bit now with moving all in with just ace high.
Pass.
As opposed to the 2 kings, this a hand I would imagine he's not excited to get called by, and Rudling may have found the goods to do just that.
Pass.
Ooh.
He elects to stay out of conflict, and this is the problem. Ace high, a very strong hand, heads up when we're down to 2 players, but when you have 6 at the table, it is more likely that you'll run into a hand behind you. That's exactly what's happened here.
Ace king.
Liam Flood makes the easy call with ace king.
The hand before had kings.
Robin alluding to
Yeah, I
saying,
guess
I
that'd be
loved
kind of
action the hand before. Right now he's